everyone, welcome to Reading with Eve, and let's get on with the bookish video. Today I have 5 post-apocalyptic / dystopian books of some kind to recommend you. I think this one will be a slightly shorter video, which is always good, to break up the pace. Without any further ado, then let's begin. So I do have a couple of books here that I myself didn't rate that highly, but when it comes to this series, I think that the main criteria is do I think they qualify? And I keep my personal opinions to myself for the sake of it, and then I talk more about, like, in my wrap-ups and whatnot, what I actually thought of them. So I have Rory Power's Wilder Girls here. I think I gave it 2 stars. That was way before this channel. I think I read it in 2020. So this is a YA, dystopian, post-apocalyptic, however you want to call it, and we're following this boarding school of girls who are trapped on this remote, it actually doesn't specify if it's like an island or something, but it's like somewhere remote where the girls can't just leave. So they are under this quarantine after this disease talks broke out, and this is where body horror comes in. It's sort of like manifests in different lesions or like different things going wrong with your body. Some girls have things growing, some girls have things like sealing their skin shut or whatever. It's just very, like, it's really weird. And then our main character's best friend goes missing, and she's automatically like, what's happening? There's something more to this. And yeah, I think that's all you need to know. As for why I didn't like this book, since it was before my channel, I say didn't like it. It was a bit disappointing. I just found that certain things didn't quite match the setup, like the expectations that the setup set, ironically, and certain pacing issues as well. But as far as the post-apocalyptic aspect goes, I mean, we have this disease that has these unknown effects. We have people dealing with it while they're quarantined. We have people going missing, and there's weird things going on, new rules, like new politics of the world and all that. So I think it definitely applies. But yeah, I would say check out some reviews before you dip into it. I mainly kept it because look how beautiful the cover is. I mean, Rory Power's books always have the best covers, even if I haven't given one above like a 3-star. So yeah. And another book that I'm not huge on, and I also think I gave it 2 stars, but I think it's accurate for this video, is The Girls Save the World, and this one by Ash Parkins, and it follows 3 girls going to ZombieCon, which is basically Comic-Con, fictionalized, to have a look at the cast of their favorite show as like this graduation ritual sort of thing, and they get stuck in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, and that's all you need to know, really. So the one thing that I would say, if you don't like the YA-isms of YA, if that makes sense, basically, you know how some YA, it doesn't really read like YA, it actually reads quite mature. This is not one of those books. It reads very YA, and it's very, very juvenile in some things. So if you're not that sort of YA reader, drink how many times I said the acronym, then perhaps this one is not for you. But if you don't mind just a little bit of teenage whining here and there, then do pick this one up. Then we have one of my all-time favorites. I will shout about this book from the rooftops until everyone I know has read it, and that is This Is Not a Test by Courtney Summers. This follows Sloane, who gets stuck in a school amid a zombie apocalypse with 5 other people, and she has depression, so she frankly doesn't really want to keep fighting. She kind of just wants to so she kind of has to see other people's perspectives as to why they want to live, and has to find the will to live herself, as she seems to have lost it. So yeah, it's a beautiful exploration of depression and mental illness and suicidal tendencies amidst a zombie backdrop. Like, zombies and apocalypse are more like a setting that kind of pushed the story to happen, which otherwise wouldn't have necessarily done so. So yeah, I would really, really recommend it. If out of any of these 5 you were only going to read one, then make it this one. Then I have 2 adult books. I have Tender is the Flesh by Agustina Bastarrica. I feel like everyone and anyone has talked about this endlessly, so I will be brief. But this one is about the world where animal meat has become inedible. it's some kind of a virus thing and you just can't have animals around, can't eat them. So instead of, going vegan and all that, humanity decides it's time to start breeding each other like livestock and eating them, So we're following a person who works at one of those slaughterhouses and their POV. I feel like this book is really layered. It's about the dystopian mentality of what is happening, while the main character is also dealing with his personal grief and some bad choices he makes from that. Definitely check trigger warnings. This one didn't faze me as much as I thought it would, apart from one scene involving puppies, which made me cry for like 10 minutes, and I absolutely despise it, and I will never read this book because of that. But if you can stomach that, then definitely check this one out. And the last one, and the one I read most recently, is I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. We read this as a book club pick for August with Reading with Meg's book club. You should check all of that out. She talks about it in her videos. If this is your vibe, you should definitely join. But basically, this follows these women who have been locked up in cages, and they don't know why, they don't know what for, so they let their days and however many years go by until one day they are able to escape. But the world they see is just this barren land with nothing and no one. So they're like, what the hell? This is definitely a soft post-apocalyptic dystopian, and it's very literary. There's a lot of character work, there's a lot of like inner monologues, like talks about feelings and stuff. So if you're not into lit fic, bit of sad girl vibe, definitely not the one for you, because if you're a very plot-driven reader, it's something that I'm just gonna tell you now, you're not really gonna get answers to anything, because that's not what this book is about. But if you need, those answers given to you by the end of the story, you will get frustrated and you will say this is crap, and you will give it like 1 or 2 stars or whatever. So just be aware that don't walk into this one expecting for everyone to say, yeah, this is exactly what happened, end of story. This is not the sort of book. But if you're looking for a bit of like existentialism, a little bit of a talk about, what it means to be human, this is definitely one for you. I personally gave it 5 stars. This one and This Is Not a Test, they're definitely favorites for very different reasons. But yeah. That is it. 5 post-apocalyptic setting books of some sort. I think I will definitely have another video of these coming at some point, like, I don't know, in the year or 2 maybe. We'll see. But it's a genre that I enjoy reading when I'm in the mood for it. Like, it's not one that I always want to pick up, but when I do, I'm really into it. So there will be more. I just need to find some that I think are worth reading. And yeah, I hope you liked this video. If you did, maybe subscribe. And if you read any of these, please recommend. Share your opinions, and then recommend me ones that you have read that I haven't mentioned. And maybe I'll check them out. And I'll see you next time.